Hey guys, it's Tasha, MAMABEAR Prepping. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. It's Monday. Pull up, get your drink. Let's talk about it. I want to talk about, preparing. Obviously, that's what this channel's about. And, but I want to talk about preparing in a way that, history repeats itself. And so in reality, right, it's not as easy as it can be said, is that we can go back and see different times where we've gone through struggles, we've gone through things. In this case, we've gone through a Great Depression and what that did to the people, right? What things happened, what was the everyday life like, right, for people back then, and how did they cope, how did they deal, right? And then we could apply it now, where we have, more of a touch society where everything is at the touch of our finger. We can get everything right away and apply that now to what's going on so that we can prepare. We prepare for and get through, one, the recession that we're currently in that nobody's talking about. And then two, getting ready for Great Depression, getting ready for the other shoe to drop, the bad, right? And it is gonna get bad. And nobody's talking about that, okay? And I don't know, what I don't know is if it's going to be a continue to be this slow grind to where all of a sudden it's just not there and things are just so bad, but we've like slow grinded it to where we're like normalizing, like it's not as crazy because we're slowly doing it, or if something will trigger it and it will just hit, right? And so I think that for those of you that are watching me, that listen to what I say in regards to preparedness and things that me and my family do, this is no different, right? I prepare heavily for Great Depression type scenarios, okay? For the world to get bad, and then me figuring out what to do now to get ready. So let me walk you through what happens during Great Depression, things that you can expect, and then we're going to talk about things that you can do right now to prepare. So what will happen? Let's talk about it. You're going to have starvation. You're definitely going to have more of a starvation than, let's say, they had back then, because of our current food situation is very, very bad. And a lot of people will say, in Great Depression days, yeah, it was rough and people ate, certain foods and whatever. And yes, there were certain people that, couldn't afford, right? And people were eating basic foods, but it's not going to be like that now, because we have just this overabundance of different things. And we have fast food and we have restaurants and we have just all this stuff, right? All these opportunities and places to get food. But baby, because of our current situation, that is going to be a huge factor of what makes Great Depression so crazy, okay? Is the fact and the level of people that are going to be physically starving, okay? So you have starvation, you have homelessness, people who will lose their homes, have nowhere to go, people living out of their cars, right? This is stuff that happened back then, but it's definitely going to happen now, right? People losing their cars, living in their cars, people losing their cars, like repo their cars because they can't make the payments, losing their homes, foreclosures because they can't make the payments, utilities being shut off. You're going to have families who are trying to make decisions of, okay, do I spend this money on this food to put food on the table, or do I pay for the lights to stay on? Can we live without lights? That type of decision making is what's going to happen, okay? It's why people are going to lose cars and houses, because people are going to make decisions, right? And food is so important that huge decisions are going to be made on their survival of and having the ability to get food, okay? Let's see, just basic unemployment. You're going to have banks closed. Now, if we have a total collapse, that could be all banks or most banks, but in a Great Depression, recession, not all banks necessarily close. Like if the dollar hasn't dropped, the stocks haven't dropped, right? Everything hasn't totally gone crazy, then there's a possibility that your bank is still operating. However, once your bank goes, you're not going to get any kind of warning, okay? It's just going to be done. And so when that happens, if you happen to be in a bank that can't make it, whatever happens, they're going to shut the doors and they're not going to say anything to you. You're not going to get a warning. You're not going to be able to get your money out. So you're literally going to be stuck in that moment. Whatever you have is whatever you have, okay? Let's see. People cashing out on 401ks, Roth IRAs. Again, if we are not in a total economic collapse money wise, and you're able, right, your banking system, whatever, and you're able to pull this money. People were taking out stuff against their retirements, right? They were taking that money to be able to survive. Okay. You have people, same thing, credit cards. People will be doing that to survive as long as they can, though. Okay. Another bad thing, super bad thing, is something that you're going to see happening is you're still going to see people trying to beat the Joneses, right? Trying to show out, trying to still get the best of the best, as if this is not happening, as if all the things I just mentioned are not happening. You're still going to have people who are going to have some sort of money or whatever, and they're not going to see the seriousness, and they're going to blow that money on whatever, on showing out, getting the best of the best, okay? And that's unfortunate that those people would want to do that. I think that those people are going to be hurting, though, when it comes to food in regards to food anyway, because if they're not prepping, they're not stockpiling food now, they're going to be like everybody else and not be able to get it. And it's not going to matter how much money they have, they're not going to be able to get it. Okay. Yeah, maybe they're privy to, maybe there's stores with 25% worth of stock in them and they're privy to get that food possibly. But again, 25%, there's going to be all types of limits. There's going to be all types of restrictions. So it's not like you could just go in there and be like, well, I have $1,000 to spend on food, so I'm going to spend $1,000 on food. There's going to be limits, okay? Because they're going to be wanting to make sure that the most amount of people or families can get in there and get what they need, okay? So there's not going to be an opportunity for anybody to panic buy at that point, okay? Even if you have money. So those are some things that that are going to be happening. In addition to crazy people are already acting out, lashing out, hurting each other, killing each other. So violence is going to go through the roof. People in the streets, up in arms, going to be happening, right? At this point, I don't think it's going to do any good. However, violence is going to be there. Okay. So now let's get into, how do you prepare, Tasha? How do you get ready for this right now while we have the opportunity to get some things? I said, grow your survival cash up. Cash. You better be having some sort of cash envelope ready to go, buried, hidden, whatever, but you need that cash money. You need to make sure that it's not in the bank, okay, that it's accessible, so that if the bank closes, you have something, okay? Because when that happens, whatever you have is whatever you have. Whatever little bit of cash you have in your purse, wallet, whatever, that's what you're going to have, okay? If you have not prepared and put some cash to the side, okay? Don't panic about this. I know a lot of people are just like, well, I don't have the extra cash. I can't put thousands of dollars, just in my closet hidden or whatever. I'm not even talking about that, okay? Yes, if you could do that, do that. But I'm saying that, listen, whatever you can do, start your cash envelopes now. And that little bit that you can do here and there, that $5 here and there that you can throw in that envelope, do that, okay? Because that will add up, and that is your emergency cash, okay? People do those envelopes all the time for saving for vacations and trips and things they want to buy and maintenance funds and things like that. Consider it a maintenance fund, an emergency fund, and just start stacking away. Girl, I don't care if you've got a couple dollars left over from something, right? You put them that $2 in that envelope, okay? Whatever you can do that, because it will add up, okay? All right. Next thing is grow your survival garden. I say this all the time. I'm sure people either are doing this because they're listening and they're like, yes, I wanted to do this. They're getting into it. And then I know I still have people like, I can't do it. I can't get into it. They're not hearing me. It doesn't sound fun. They're like, I don't have the space. I can't do it. There's all I hear is excuses, okay? Because even in apartments, you have vertical space. You have walls in your apartment, do you not? Okay? Take down those pictures and hang some plants. Hang plants up, okay? Do vertical gardens on your walls. All types of stuff on the market that you can buy for that. To hang plants on your wall and grow them, okay? Do vertical gardens if you have zero counter space, no balcony, no patio. You're making excuses, okay? You could do a full wall of at least medicinal herbs, cooking herbs, lettuces. Get you some arrow gardens. Again, I get it. You're like, I can't afford this stuff. I'm telling you, you better get it together and really dig deep with this. I can't, right? You can, you just don't want to. And it's gonna take us digging deep to do this. Even those of us that survive, it is gonna take a lot. We're gonna have to dig deep to get through this, okay? For us that have physical things that we've prepared, physical food, it's going to be more of a mental game getting through it, okay? It's going to be a different struggle, okay? But it is going to be a struggle. Trust and believe it is going to be a struggle, okay? And so there's so many people that are going to be affected, and for you to sit back and be like, I can't, and then later you'll sit back and be like, I can't believe it, man. I should have started a garden in my apartment or wherever I'm at. I had that little bit of space and I just made excuses. You're going to be upset that you didn't plant them potatoes or carrots or herbs or whatever it is, microgreens, right? Sprouts, something, okay? Get it going, okay? Every single day I push. There's a couple things that I push every day in our home, and that really there's a lot of things. But in regards to this list, fortification and gardening is huge. Every single day I'm in the garden. Every single day my mind's thinking about what's the next thing I can add? What's the next crop I can add? What can I do next? Okay, so start the garden. Keep your family together. Keep the family together. I think that it's going to be very important that, and you're going to see a lot of families come together in regards to 2 and 3 family homes. Right? This notion of families separated in different homes. I think that if it's possible, you're going to see a lot of generations coming together to live together. If it's possible to make it work, to pool that money, to pool their efforts. If anything, that's your own little community that you're bringing together because, you know, you love each other and you want each other to survive. And so you guys are coming together because it's cheaper, you know, it's less gas to buy. It's less, it's more people possibly that are working to pay those utilities, to keep the lights on, to bring the food in, to do the things, right? So community in the sense of your family, you're gonna see those families come together, and if you can, you know, the days of, you know, no college kids can come back or whatever, like all of that, open arms to family members coming back. That's another, you know, a lot of people, that's another mouth to feel. No, that's another set of hands to help work, to help do things, okay, to help you all survive together, okay? So keep the family together. Other stuff is being smart with all your repairing type stuff, right? Being able to sew and correct things, clothing, right? Fix holes and different things like that, right? Or sew and making clothes, right? So being able to sew, having a sewing kit, having a sewing machine, having a shoe repair kit, having eyeglass repair kit, right? Having the ability to have certain kits now that you can get your hands on now, so that when you're having to do things by hand, because services, you know, people who know how to do certain things, that's great, and that's like a recession proof job, but not everybody is going to be able to afford them. So even though those people are still in business and still out there, you might not be able to afford those side things like that. And so therefore that's stuff that's going to fall on you to fix, right? Or you can't afford all new clothes because clothes are ratted and tatted. No, you have to fix them yourselves and make them last a few more seasons. Okay. Next thing I have is, having your maintenance stuff, right? Your tools for everyday maintenance, having a drill. I know this sounds silly because I know some of you are so seasoned and older, right? And so you've stockpiled stuff. You have tools, right? You're older. You've built up that supply, right? Naturally over the years of maybe being a homeowner or whatever. But it's something as simple as, you know, having your drills, having your different drill bits, having, a socket set, having all the basic, your different types of pliers and screwdrivers. And it seems so basic. And a lot of people are like, why is she talking about that's so basic? Everybody has that. No, baby, everybody does not have that. Okay. And so that's the type of stuff, having a basic multi-tool that has some basic stuff like that, so that you can do certain things around your house when things are broken, or you have to open something up, or you have to do something, you have to hang something, you need those basic everyday tools to do stuff. Okay. Hammers, different hammers, hammer with a claw to be able to take out nails, different things, different tapes, glues, all the different things that we use throughout the day, okay, when things go bad at the house, to correct small things, right? Small fixes, small maintenance items. That's the tools that I'm talking about. Is there tons more of stuff you could get? Absolutely. But I think it's important to have the basics, okay? Next thing, menu planning simple meals. I can't say this enough. We've talked about this several times on my different videos with lists and when I'm talking about food. And it's important to have an idea of simple meals to make. Depression, pick like 3 Great Depression soups that you can make that your family loves. Because back then, and even now when this gets bad, you're going to have go-to easy, you're going to want to make easy things that are one pot, that aren't a lot of ingredients, that are staples. And then you're going to be making that a lot. You'll be surprised when you start running out of stuff. You're making these basic soups, these basic one pot meals a lot. Okay. I absolutely love. So if you haven't checked out my Amazon influencer page, please do. Links below in the description box. I've made a ton of folders that basically have all the different products that I like, that I use, that I want, whatever the case may be. And I did make a book folder with my favorite books that I have. And there is a great one in there for Great Depression cooking. Okay. This little old lady, she's long gone, you guys, but it's a cookbook, has all types of recipes. I absolutely love it. Great Depression cooking. You can also don't have to buy a book. There's all types of stuff on the internet for free, all types of recipes. Just Google, Great Depression menu planning, Great Depression meal ideas, Great Depression meal recipes. All types of stuff will come out. And then you just start writing those down, okay, and collecting them. But there's all types of stuff, and that is the stuff that you want to plan out. At least at a minimum, find some that your family will like, try them, make sure they like them, see how easy it was to make, see how many ingredients it took, make it, know it, and then put it away, right, for a rainy day. But you've got to do the pre-work now, because if things get bad, whatever, and you can't get that stuff or whatever, and you're struggling because you're so stressed about everything else that's happening. And it's just, there's so much that you can do now to prepare so that things are not stressful later. Okay. This next one is, so I was on Prepper Tribe's, one of his, I don't know if it was members only or not, you guys, but he had his live and he had a lot of people on the panel. And, they were talking about really how it started with somebody inquired about gold or silver or something like that. And you know what? Now that I mention it, it wasn't even Prepper Tribes. It was Angry Prepper. It was Angry Prepper's live, one of his lives. And somebody started asking him about gold and silver. And he's kind of like how I am with gold and silver. I really could just care less about gold and silver. I'm just keeping it real, you guys, because I'm a little bit old school in the sense that I think that skills are king. I think that community and having the ability to talk to people and barter things and trade things and skills are king. Skills are king. Okay. Your ability to know how to do things is how you survive. It's how you survive for yourself, how your family survives, and it's how you survive with other people, with trade. Having skills that you can trade with others is smart. Okay. And it's safe in regards to having gold and silver, or people that stockpile, like I have all this stuff to barter and trade, and that could be a dangerous world, okay? A dangerous thing, right? And so, but skills, that's something that I physically can do. I have value because of things I can do. I know right now that I have a skill that if me and my family walked to the woods right now and we were like, we got to just live out here. We're in the Pacific Northwest. We just got to live off the side of the road in these woods. We could do it. We could build fire. We could find food. We could definitely build a shelter, and we can make it. Okay. Skills are king. Being able to do things are king. Now, I just took it real bushcrafty, you guys, okay? But that's just to let you know, we don't need all these things in our house, okay, that we prepare. That's for luxury. That's for our quality of life, okay? But when it came down to it, baby, we have skills. We could walk and go somewhere and make it, okay? Let's bring it down a notch. Just basic skills. How to cook, that's a skill. How to grow food, that's a skill, right? Medical skills, okay? Knowing how to close up a wound, even something basic, a basic cut that requires stitches, how to do that and bandage that person up so that they don't get, infected, right? Skills, right? You've got to have skills, security skills, weapon skills. There's so many things, right? That those are king. And so if you have those, great. What you can do now is if there's things that you wanted to learn about, then do those, okay? Learn those. Foraging. Foraging is a huge one. I'm about to do a video on my other channel about foraging in my backyard, right? Things that are around us every day. And we just don't care these days about looking around and seeing things that are growing around us that are edible, that we can eat, okay? That we didn't plant ourselves, that just come naturally, that God has provided all around us. Skills, that's a skill though, to be able to identify that stuff, learn about that stuff, know about that stuff. That's stuff you can do now. You can learn skills now. We have time to do that. So get your books, get your, take your classes, take a CPR class, take a basic med class, take something, get some books and start learning about foraging, right? Research, learn this stuff, okay? You can do this, all right? Don't know how to build a fire? Make it fun. Get some stuff, you and your family in your fire pit in the backyard, and practice making fires, you and the family. Practice making fires different ways, right? With different materials, with different starters, all types of stuff, okay? It's really important, and it seems very, very basic, but it's not, okay? And it literally, this is stuff that could be life or death, okay? Not to seem so, life and death, but it is, you guys. This is direct survival skills. Skills equal direct survival, okay? Next thing I have is no power in regards to, I said earlier, people making the decisions, possibly, hey, what's more important, putting this food on the table or having lights? Can we live without the lights? Well, I think there's a couple things with no lights. Number one thing, well, there's a lot of things, but a big thing when you don't have power is wherever you live, keeping your home cool or keeping your house hot, right? Warm. And because you have people who will die, right? From exposure. And so learning the things now to keep your house cool, to keep a room cool, to keep you guys cool when maybe you don't have power, and vice versa. Keep staying warm when you don't have power. If you live somewhere and it's -20 outside, I hope you have ways to stay warm, when the power goes out. Now, ideally, those places that get cold like that, you guys have wood stoves, you have fireplaces, you have stuff like that in your homes. But don't sleep on it. There's a lot of weather pattern changes happening. There's a lot of stuff happening things happening in areas that they're not expecting, places that are getting way colder for longer, hotter for longer, hotter earlier. It's just a lot. Okay. And so being prepared for that. Okay. For no power and how you're surviving, right? And a lot of people, can you have no power for a lot of reasons? Absolutely. But there is absolutely going to be people that maybe can't afford it, okay? Or find themselves making decisions because food is more important, okay? And it is more important, okay? Next thing is, I've mentioned this several times. Get it before you can't get them. Bikes. I'm telling you, the gas stuff is not going away. Getting around, getting to a job, getting to the store, getting around to places you got to go, getting around to go to grandma's house around the, whatever it is, you need bikes. You need bikes. You need bikes. You guys need a travel bike, at least one. Okay. You can get bikes for everybody in the family. Great. But if you can't, you need one good travel bike. Okay. And maybe one that has a good sized basket on it or some kind of cart on the back you can put on it, but you need a good sturdy bike, at least one for your household, and you need to get it now while you can. Okay. And then the last thing I have is secure and fortify your home. Again, this is something that I've been personally lately, as of late, working on. You know, this house, we've been here for a while. We've been doing so much maintenance stuff, just normal stuff though. Normal maintenance stuff, normal preparedness stuff, right? But, you know, we've really, really ratcheted up our fortification of the house. We're finally to the point where we're spending more time on securing, fortifying, finally getting things up that we've had. And we're just so busy, you guys. And so getting those security things up, getting fortification finally up, really thinking about each aspect, like the things I talk about on this video, right? How can I make this stronger? How can I fortify this more? Constantly walking the property and thinking, okay, we did this, but what if we did this? Or somebody could get in this, or this is easy to be hopped over, or how do we address this? All that stuff, okay? And so, big deal, get your house in order, continue to think about security and to think about fortification. They're two separate things, okay? Because things are going to get bad. Things are going to be violent. When this stuff goes left, it's going to get violent. It's already, I shouldn't even say it's going to get violent. It's already getting violent. There's already craziness all over. More and more cases of people snapping, and just whether that's one-on-one crime, whether that's group crimes, it doesn't matter. It's getting out of control. People are really just losing their stuff, right? And all this random stuff, just like even one-on-one attacks, like people just like beating people up for just no reason, right? Or attacking people for no reason. And when you throw, what's very, very scary is when you throw the aspect of where this is going to go as the food goes away, because you're going to have very, very dangerous, angry people looking for food. And that is what we're preparing for, is to protect ourselves, protect our family from that. Okay. And it's more than just your home. You know, security and fortification when you leave the home is important. You know, what do you have on you to protect you? What kind of defensive tools do you have on your person to protect yourself? We were talking about the other day, you know, the mass shooting. And it's like that, if that happens, or what happens if some kind of weirdo just started coming up on us and trying to beat us up or whatever, or we're in the middle of somebody else having a breakdown and we're in this small area kind of stuck in the middle of this chaos. You know, what do we have on ourselves to protect ourselves in that moment, right? First of all, we always got something on us, but you know, people don't though. You know, people don't. And I'm not necessarily even talking about like defensive tools, like bang ones. There's all types of stuff that you can carry on yourself to help you get out of a situation. Okay. The days of like even hiking, walking alone, going to the grocery store is going to get dangerous here. Going and doing things, people are unhinged. There's a lot of unhinged people, okay? Just upset people for no reason. Let me just tell you, I was in the store the other day. In the store, there's a lady. I'm in line. I get in line. There's somebody putting their stuff on the thing. I'm right behind them. And a lady pulls up behind me right in line, and the lady turns her light off. I see her little person comes over and says, hey, you're going to be on break, whatever. So I'm like, oh no, you know, we're probably going to have to move, Kai. And so I said, excuse me, are you closed, you know, after me or before me, right? Like, do I need to get in another line? And she's like, no, I'm closed after you. I said, okay. So I turned around. I just don't even I just mean what I say. I just say what I say, mean it. I do what I want to do, basically. Without a beat, I calmly turned around and I said, "Hello, ma'am." She said she's closed after me. Easy day. This lady is unhinged, okay? Now, mind you, she's not unhinged on me, okay? Because my demeanor doesn't even allow you to get in like that, okay? I said, "She's closed after me, ma'am." She starts going past me. She goes, and this lady is like checking somebody out. She goes right up to the other customer. She's all in, and she's leaned in, and she's like, "I've been back there. I've been back there for so long. You're closed after me or before me." Just upset. And the lady's like, "No, ma'am, I'm closed after her," right? And she's pointing to me. This lady's so upset, talking about, "I've been there for so long. I've been there for 10 minutes already." Da, da, da. And I was like, "B, you have not been there you literally just rolled up 30 seconds. Like, I was just so, but she was so unhinged, you guys. Now, in that moment, she didn't come at me. She didn't come at me, okay? I don't know how it would have went if she came at me. And my child is next to me. Baby, I don't know what would have happened. But she absolutely did not. No part of that unhingedness was directed towards me. It immediately was for the poor cashier. And I was like, and then she didn't get her way. She ended up, the lady was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't see you. I'm closed after her. That's it." And the lady was mad. She got her husband. She said, "We can't," she's just upset and took off. But unhinged. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. And that lady in that instance, she didn't come at me, but she totally could have come at me. Right? It could have been directed at me. And it becomes, what do you do in those situations? You have people who like that just snap and start beating on people, right? Because I said that, try to beat on me. Again, I can't tell you how that would have went. But my point is, people are unhinged and they're doing things that people do not see coming, are not prepared for, do not know how to defend themselves, do not know, like they're in so much shock that they don't even know how to react, okay? And it's not that I wouldn't be in shock too, but there's just different people. We're all different, okay? And all I'm telling you is to be aware of your surroundings, because there is unhinged people off of very, very simple, basic things, right? Something as simple as, I knew there was a good chance I was going to have to move lines, right? Wasn't even upset, but this lady was upset, okay? So just a small example, from my world. And I want to hear in the comments below, you guys, what are you guys doing to prepare? What are your guys' thoughts? Help each other out in things that you're doing to prepare. Things that you have learned about the Great Depression time that have molded how you do things, and things in ways that you're preparing now and preparing your family so that you can make it through all this. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I did. I got a lot of things done, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.